Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for being here on our mini interview with these two amazing authors that we're going to introduce you to in just a sec. We're Sean and Allison McManus of Spoken Garden, and we're here on behalf of the National Garden Bureau and Garden Communicators International to help promote a really fun event coming up where you'll get to meet 5 garden book authors on Thursday, November 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about the event or reserve your spot, you can click the link down below, or you can go to bit.ly/NOV24 book party and sign up today. Today, we have the privilege of talking with and introducing you to two authors that are going to be at the November 14th event, Stephanie Thurow and Michelle Bruhn.
Okay, so we're going to start with a quick introduction so you guys can get to know them a little better. Michelle Bruhn relishes being a suburban homesteader, born and raised in Minnesota. That's so cool. She's a local food advocate, regenerative gardener, freelance writer, educator, and a farmer's market manager. The founder of Forks in the Dirt, an information hub for garden and farm-to-table living.
And also, Stephanie Thurow, aka Minnesota from Scratch, is the author of the best-selling food preservation cookbooks, Can It and Ferment It, WEC Small Batch Preserving and WEC Home Preserving, and she is the co-author with Michelle of the Small Scale Homesteading book. She is a master food preserver and master gardener that enjoys teaching people the skills of traditional living. She is a regular contributor to Hobby Farms and Chickens magazine.
Hi, you guys. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you guys. So let's dig in just a little bit. So, Stephanie, let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you're passionate about homesteading?
Sure. So I grew up in Minnesota as well. I live in the first ring suburb of Minneapolis right now in Richfield. And so not a lot of land, just a regular suburban area. But I grow lots of fruits and vegetables and flowers in my front backyard. We have a small flock of chickens for eggs in the back. We tap a maple tree for syrup and preserve tons of food. And so we do all that without, acreage. And I'm passionate about it because I have a lot of joy through the processes. It's a lot of work, but it's good work. It's good for the mind, body, and soul. And it's just satisfying to like take these ideas from our minds and create them, and then to tend to the gardens all summer long, and then get the food, preserve it, share it with those you love. And then I just love teaching other people how to do the same.
Michelle, same question to you. Why are you passionate about homesteading?
Well, I think it's just such a mind switch a little bit for us to look at our homes as places of like production instead of just places of consumption. And so typically, a suburban modern homestead is going to look maybe the same as a lot of other houses until you start digging in a little bit and you see all the perennial foods, all the veggies, and then look in somebody's pantry. We're saving seeds, we're doing all this. And really, I'm so passionate because it's easy. It's easy to get started and figure out what you love.
Now, Michelle, for anyone who hasn't read your book, Small Scale Homesteading, can you give us a quick overview of what your book is about?
Yeah, we kind of just go over the basics of how to start a small scale homestead. So we talk about garden planning, growing your food, preserving your food, raising chickens, maple syrup tapping, and then using some of those things to create really healthy home products. And I think it's a really great jumping point.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I love all those topics too. Now, Stephanie, what was it like writing a book as a co-author, and especially with Michelle?
Yeah, it was a big risk, I guess you could say, but Michelle and I work really well together and we balance each other out. So, especially with motivation, or if something was going on, it seemed like we could pick each other up. So in this situation specifically, it worked out really well, and it's been a lot of fun to develop classes with Michelle and do all this promotion together over the past year and a half.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, what a great partnership.
Yeah. I'll just really quickly add to that. It's really fun. In the book, we compare and contrast some of the ways we do things because we both have chickens, but we raise them a little differently. We both grow food, we both preserve food, but we have different favorites and different ways of doing it. And you get both of those perspectives in the book. So it's nice that there's not just one right way to do things. We show you that there's always more than one way to do things in gardening.
And that's so important for people because they do have different learning styles. So they can learn from two different pros and find what works for them. Which kind of leads me to our next question. For Stephanie, if you could start with this one. What is one of your like most important tips you would give or offer a beginner who wants to start their own small scale homestead?
Well, now that like homesteading is kind of trendy, I feel like it's even more overwhelming for those beginners, with everybody kind of giving their advice and what's best. So my advice is start with what you're really interested in. That's what Michelle and I tell everybody. So whether it's food preservation or gardening or chickens or beekeeping or whatever it is, if you don't feel that little flame inside of you that keeps you going and wanting more, maybe don't do that. Try something else. And don't feel like you need to jump in with both feet and do it all. Start with like an herb garden or grow something you really will enjoy with your family. And yeah, that's my best advice. Don't feel like you need to do it all, because my journey has taken me 2 decades. Michelle's been homesteading even longer than that. So yeah, just take your
Wow.
time and follow your heart.
That's really helpful for a lot of beginners. Michelle, same question to you. What is one of your most important tips that you would offer a like beginner who wants to start homesteading?
I think Stephanie did a really good job kind of going over that idea of like what brings you joy, what brings you passion. And then also for most of us, we live in more urban, suburban areas. So we have neighbors pretty close by. So don't think of just your yard as the place that you can homestead, but your neighbor's yard might have more sun than yours. So maybe you use that yard for your neighbor has maple trees and you don't, and you can tap their maples. So there's a big, beautiful piece of community that we can bring into this. And we definitely touch on that in the book as well.
That's definitely a different way to think about it too, is doing that with your neighbor and bringing them into it. And yeah, that's fun. And our last question for both of you is, why do you think anyone should attend the Authors Talk Gardening event on November 14th? Stephanie, can you go first?
I think it's going to be really inspirational for people, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I guess I am really looking forward to being able to have those breakout sessions at the end, to be able to have a little private Q&A time with people who are interested in just asking us a couple questions. And we're garden writers. You never know what we're going to say. Who knows?
And yeah, it can get exciting.
Well, and there's so much to learn from everybody, and there's so many different topics at this event this fall. So it's going to be really fun to hear from everybody and all the little parts of gardening that they're going to cover. We're excited. We'll be there as well. And for everybody watching right now and who want to maybe find you guys on socials and your website, can you guys give us, where should everybody go?
I'm at minnesotafromscratch.com, and on Instagram, I'm Minnesota from Scratch. And you can find our books anywhere that books are sold worldwide.
Yep, and I'm Forks in the Dirt on Instagram and forksinthedirt.com. And then for Facebook folks, it's Forks in the Dirt MN for Minnesota.
That's great. Thank you both for being here. Thank you everyone for watching, and make sure to go to bit.ly/NOV24 book party.
So again, thank you both for being here and for your time. We're so excited to learn more, even more. So you guys make sure and get signed up, and thank you both.
Thanks,
For
guys.
having us.